The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
The Jets season from hell continues on Sunday against the Colts. We'll chat with Fireman Ed about the state of the Jets. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started. Man.
Shout out to Jet fans that are still showing up. I don't know what sort of dysfunctional family they grew up in, but I feel like if you parents were two people that should have broke up but never did, you're tailor-made to be a Jets fan because it's a toxic relationship. The level of swag that Jet fans wear, you would think that they had like 4 or 5 Super Bowls.
We bleed Jet green each and every day. This is not the same old Jets. We have Aaron freaking Rodgers. We have Garrett Wilson. Let's go. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinnen Williams. The Jet bandwagon is loaded. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show.
Here we go, Jet fans. Welcome in, everybody. It is indeed the Jake Asman Show. Happy Friday. Another reminder to join the Patreon. If you haven't already, it's patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. Get in the Discord. I'll be giving away 2 tickets to the Jets-Colts game to Patreon users exclusively after this stream. Patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. For less than a cup of coffee a month, you get Discord access, bonus shows, your name in the intro, and 15% off every item in the merch store. Joining us right now is one of the great Jet fans out there. The great Fireman Ed joins us in his weekly spot on the show. Ed, I'd ask how you're doing, but you're a Jet fan, so I already know the answer.
Yeah, this is, I'm going 51 years, doing the chant 39. This is my 39th year doing the chant. And this is hands down, the most disappointing season, period. Just all the way around, but the positive side of me will always exist. So that will never change. Until they get 9 losses, I'm always going to believe that they got a shot. Maybe they go on a roll. I mean, with that defense, I have a hard time believing it. I do believe the offense is going to get into sync. Yeah, it's only 10 games, but they're going to get it to sync sooner or later. When you have Aaron Rodgers there, we'll get into all of that. You got a shot.
I mean, you mentioned how disappointing the season's been, and you followed this team as long as anyone. I mean, for me, this is right up there with as bad as it's ever been because now we're having conversations in November. Who's the quarterback next year? Who's the head coach next year? Who's the GM? We know the owner might be going overseas, but he'll be here through January to at least make the new hires. How does that impact who you potentially bring in? It's just in the past, we've kind of had an idea what this team needs to do to get it right. Right now, there's just so many variables. You have no idea what these next 7 games even mean for the future of this team going forward.
Well, you got to see how it pans out. The difference is in the past, we had no nucleus. There's been a lot of years we had nothing. You can't say that about this team. There's guys signed. You got plenty of guys signed. You got young blood. So there's something when coaches look at the overall picture of the team, they're not going to look at it where, you know what I mean? Like, I fully expect Aaron Rodgers said he's coming back. I want to make this clear. I want Aaron Rodgers back. I want him back. We need to have him back to hold the fort. Nothing else. Listen, first off, his potential. Aaron, let's see what happens. Let's see how the next 6-7 games go. I want to see what happens in the next 6-7 games, okay? What are we doing at quarterback when we don't have Aaron Rodgers? First off, we're paying him $39 million, whether he's here or not. We're paying him. You got to pay him, and it's $25 million on the cap, I think, right? 25.
It's like I think it's like $23 million on the cap, which by the way is very good value for any starting quarterback in the league. Yes. It's not a rookie.
Yes, and I love when I see the Jet fans say, well, we don't want Aaron Rodgers. Get rid of him. Well, who's your quarterback? What's your answer? What's the answer? What are you going to go with Tyrod Taylor? Is that what you're doing? You go with Tyrod Taylor? Really? Is that what we're doing? Come on. I mean, I can't talk to people when I start listening to this shit. I can't do it. I mean, we're frustrated. I get it. I fully understand. Aaron's still recovering from his Achilles. Unfortunately, it's just the way it is, and has he played well? No, obviously they're not on the same page. It's been a disaster, but there's been a lot of reasons. There's a lot of reasons for what's gone on. To me, he's the least of the worry. Our offensive line hasn't got cohesive. You can start talking Keith Carter. I mean, when we start going into coaching, I am not a Keith Carter guy. I wasn't. All you hear about it, Keith Carter. Come on, man. What are we fucking doing? What are we doing? Like, Salah got these guys, and some of them you just, it's just so. My mind's racing right now because I'm a lunatic right now.
I know.
There's so many levels that to speak and talk about Aaron Rodgers. Like, Aaron Rodgers to me is the least of the problems on his team.
Well, here's the thing. If there was an obvious option, what they should do, I'd listen to it. But I look at it like this. If you bring Aaron back, you could still obviously draft the quarterback potentially in the first round. And unlike the other quarterbacks this team has taken in the first round, the best thing might be this guy doesn't have to play year one, can learn from Aaron Rodgers. And the last time the Jets actually did that, Vinny taught Chad Pennington, and that worked. So I would love to see that be the approach, because you look at the list of free agent quarterback options. The best one is Sam Darnold, who one is not that great and wouldn't even come here. Like, what are you going to do? You're going to bring in Jacoby Brissett or Jameis Winston to play quarterback? I'd rather just stick with Aaron Rodgers and hope with better coaching and a better kicker, this team's at least way more competitive next year, which they should be with the talent they still do have on this roster.
Yes. You run it back. There's going to be a lot of decisions made, man. We don't know. We know there's going to be more than likely a new coach, a new GM. Once again, we're going to go through this bullshit again. Yep. Again, we're going to go through this bullshit. And it's the reason we are what we are. It just is. We can't seem to get it right. As far as Woody Johnson goes, you can say a lot of things about Woody, right? But you really can't say that this year. You just can't. Never mind. Listen, the ticket's a whole nother ballgame. The fucking season tickets, I said what I had to say on Instagram last year. I mean, it's a joke they're making you pay for the seats this year before the season's over. Right. For next year.
Well, especially next year. You don't know who the quarterback is, GM, coach, which owner is going to be overseeing it. It's a joke.
Whoever's doing their marketing there in One Jet Drive should be fired. They should be fired, okay? Because that's ridiculous. You don't take that money until February, March from people. Don't be doing that shit. But that's a whole nother story. I said what I had to say. But as far as Woody Johnson, think about what he did this year. He did everything you wanted him to do. He did everything we wanted him to do. The call was Salah's got to go. Salah's got to go. And we never thought he would do it because in 24 years that he's owned the team, he's never fired a coach in midseason. So what does he do? He fires Salah. Little do we know that the defense is so fragile, that what happened to being a pro? You collapsed. You totally collapsed. I mean, they totally collapsed. You look at the numbers. It's unbelievable what's happened. It's really and it's not just one guy. It's numerous guys. But, all right, so he fired Salah. He got you Reddick. He got you, he wanted Reddick in here earlier, okay? And Reddick's the one, right. As far we found out that they offered him $20 million. We found that out. They offered him. He just, that's clueless. Well, that whole thing is a whole nother story. But that's typical of what we go through as Jet fans. We can't have a guy just come in here and fucking play. and they go out and get Devontae Adams. So I don't want to hear it as far. Listen, Woody has done what he was supposed to do this year. I'm not on Woody's payroll. I'm just saying it like it is. You want to talk about he tried to get a stadium. I was part of that when we tried to get the West Side Stadium. And I remember a lot of the idiot Jet fans saying they wanted to tailgate. They wanted to tailgate. You couldn't find a tailgate in the West Side? Are you fucking kidding me? Are we serious? Come on, that's a whole nother ball game. But, there's a lot of things that went on. Listen, Woody here's what I'll say about Woody Johnson. I believe he wants to win with Christopher. I believe that. I believe wholeheartedly they want to win. Do I believe that his interests are solely on this team? No, they have so many other interests that they can't focus on this. And I believe that Woody did get involved this year with that team. I never thought it in the past, but I thought this year he did. A lot of those decisions was, from him. So, there's a lot to be said about that, but the players got to play, man. The players got to play, right? The coaches got to coach. I mean, when we look at the coaching staff, you'd have to say we are a lot to be desired, right? I mean, they can't seem to get on the same page on the offensive end of the ball. On the defensive end of the ball, just total collapse. Total collapse.
They're soft. I mean, this team deals with any sort of adversity, and they fold more times than not.
And that's, when you say soft to a pro in the NFL, that's about as hard as it gets. And you've heard that word spread around a lot this week in particular. You hear a lot of soft. When you hear Bart Scott saying soft, the guy played, he wasn't soft. He wasn't soft. All right, we need guys like Bart Scott on that defense. We ain't got enough of those. I don't know if we have any.
Well, I'll tell you what. I think C.J. Mosley's injury, people were trying to downplay it. Oh, he's not what he was. He's an older player. Sherwood's really fast. They missed that leadership on that defense. They really do.
They do miss that leadership. There's no question about it. But, but there's other guys on that team that should have stepped up. Quinnen. There's guys that should have been stepping up on that, and we don't know what goes on in the locker room. I know one thing. When it comes to that philosophy of that defense, and I've taught, this is before, what Saleh based his defense on the defensive line rotation. He says, that's how we're going to win, and that's how we're going to be a dominant defense, right? He said this many times, that the rotation on the defensive line is how we will be a top-tier defense. Well, let me just go over a couple of numbers. This is unbelievable when I seen this. It's from Samini. He had his breakdown of the snaps. So there was 59 total snaps last week on defense. 59. Kinlaw got 44 of them. 75% defensive tackle, right? Quinnen Williams, all pro. 37 snaps, 63% of the time. He went out one play because he got his wind knocked out of him. So don't make like he was hurt. He wasn't hurt. Reddick got 22 snaps. 22 snaps. 37% of the time. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Like, I have Will McDonald. I gotta look. Give me just 1 second, because I took a snapshot of it. It's unreal. It's unbelievable. Will McDonald got 32 snaps, 54%. He got 32 snaps. What the fuck? Wait, hold on. Michael Clemens got 39 snaps, 66%. He got more snaps than Will McDonald, Reddick, Quinnen Williams. What are we fucking doing? What are we doing? 3 All-Pros. Will McDonald could be an All-Pro this year, right? With his numbers, he could. What are we doing? What are we doing on defensive line? What the fuck are we doing? I don't get it. That right there, that's not normal. Kinlaw and Clemens playing more than Quinn and Williams, McDonald and Reddick. Are you kidding me? I would be a lunatic. Why did we give up 5 drives in a row on Sunday? You could start right there. Start right fucking there. Start right there. Right there. Your best players aren't on the field. How in God's name, Quinn Williams is ranked one of the top defensive tackles in football, right? He played 63% of the time. You tell me one thing, Jake. You tell me one thing. How many fucking snaps does the guy from the Rams that just retired, what was his name?
Aaron Donald.
Aaron Donald, do you think he played anything less than 80% of the time? Do you think that he played anything less than 80% of the time? He might have been out 20%, and that's a lot. I don't even think he'd be out 20%. I'd like to look at his numbers through his career. Jake, how much do you think that he could be out? Off the field. How much do you think that Sean McVay took him off the field?
I'll tell you what, too. Forget just Aaron Donald. Look at Dexter Lawrence. Look at Chris Jones. And here's the thing. In the past, you could justify the defensive rotation with the line because they had the depth to do it. This year's team is playing 3 UDFAs in its rotation. Reddick was not brought in till halfway through the season, so he's still not the guy I think necessarily they thought they were going to get from the beginning of the year. They don't have Jermaine Johnson, which is a huge blow. So this is they downgraded all over with no JFM, no Bryce Huff, no Quentin Jefferson. So they can't run this defensive rotation and have the same impact. And this is what I go back to. Why they're so poorly coached. They never make adjustments. They never allow, let's say, Sauce to follow the team's number one in critical situations. I go back to George Pickens completely torching them Sunday night against Pittsburgh when he was their only guy, and they refused to put Sauce over to him. It's just they never do anything that smart coaches do, and that's the biggest issue with this team. I think it's a coaching issue beyond anything else.
Well, I would have to agree. I just don't understand how your best players aren't on the field.
77% for Aaron Donald his last year in the NFL.
77%. I was going to say 80%. 80%. You figure 8 out of 10 plays they usually play. That's what a great player plays. He's got to play. You got to play minimum 75% of the time. Minimum 80%. Now that's over that was 2023.
That was last year in the league.
This is last year in the fucking league. Do you think he played 77% of the time when he was rolling? I'm going to tell you right now it was 90. I'm telling you. He went off that field not much. He didn't go off that field much. Why would you take your players off the field? It would be like Aaron Rodgers coming off the field, right? 25% of the time.
Sure.
I mean, this is drove me. There's a lot of things that have drove me nuts, but this one this week really did me in because I started going in depth, let me look at what is happening here. All right. And when you don't have your best players on the field, how do you expect to win? And like you just said, we don't have the depth. We don't have that. Did you see Quentin Jefferson got released? He didn't go to the Jets. You would have thought he would come Jets. He fucking ran for his life. He went up to Buffalo. He said, let me give it a shot. I've got a shot at winning a world championship over here in Buffalo. He didn't want no part of the Jets. And he had a big year for us. He had 6 sacks last year. Crazy. There's so many things that are going on to this. I mean, I'm looking at, I'm reading this Costello's talking about that Nagy's going to be the fucking next coach.
Let's get into the coaching.
Yes.
Right? If you could have a big board of the top candidates, who are the guys that you would be thrilled if the Jets could actually hire?
There's 1-2. 1-2 is in my mind. 1-2. I believe one I don't think would come here. One I think would definitely come here. All right. The one that is Mike Vrabel, but I don't believe he'll come here. I just don't believe he's going to come here. All right. But Vrabel is right at the top of the list. And John Gruden. I'd love to have Chucky here. Chucky is an offensive genius. What the fuck? I'd love to have Chucky here. And the big thing is Chucky would love Aaron Rodgers. You know, that's a beautiful combination right there. Mm-hmm. So the ideal one would be John Gruden. Ideal, John Gruden, because of Rodgers. He also could, we draft another quarterback this year, and you have the two of them. You have Jordan Travis, and you have the kid that you drafted. And let's see how it plays out. In the meantime, right. you look at that quarterback room with Tyrod Taylor and Aaron Rodgers. You don't go away from Aaron Rodgers. That's the last thing you do. Go with he can help with this future. He ain't looking. Aaron is not looking to go anywhere else. He's going to stay right here. You could see it when he said yesterday. I mean, I'll be surprised if what's he going to do? Go to another team now? That's not going to happen.
I think he's back next year, and I agree. Yes. Barring this team not, finishing with 3 wins or 4 wins, I think they'll win some games here down the stretch. Yeah. And I to your point though, the 2 names you mentioned, right? Vrabel, Gruden. I'd throw, Brian Flores maybe in there. Kevin Stefanski if Cleveland fires him. They need someone who's done it before, Ed. I'm tired of these guys coming in, learning on the job. They've never been a head coach before. And, as much as I like Aaron Glenn with the Lions, I don't know if they could hire another first-time defensive-minded coordinator to be a head coach. I think this hire is too important. They got to get someone who's done it before.
I'm with you 1,000,000%. Flores had one stint. I'm not. Brian Flores is a great defensive coordinator.
He had 2 winning seasons in Miami with not a great roster.
All right. Those are the 2 guys.
Gruden
and Vrabel. That's, they talk about Rex. Rex hasn't coached in a long, long time.
Since 2016, yep.
And you're going to run it back. Listen, I love Rex. We know Rex loves us. Rex loves us. So I'm never, like, if they got Rex, would I be like, no, but you asked me the first 2, those are the 2 guys. And Gruden's before Vrabel for me. Because he can match up with Aaron.
It's Jets, Jets. I love Fireman Ed too.
He's a fan of yours.
Yeah, I know. I was on a show. I was on that show. I love John Gruden. I love Chucky. I've always loved Chucky. Chucky got railroaded is what he got. Everybody makes a mistake. Everybody, we all have our moments, and listen, you got to forgive, and everybody's human, man. So Chucky needs another shot. There's no question about it. You didn't see any of these players come out and go against Chucky when he left. All right, they said all racial shit and stuff, but you didn't see all these guys come jump on board. They love him. You have a moment in it. We're human. I'm sure you'd like to take shit back, right? It's always something you want to take back in your life. It happens. So you gotta. Anyway, I'd love to see Gruden. I think he match up well with Rodgers. I think the future could be bright. We got to look at but I'm in total agreement with you. I do not want a coordinator, and I'm talking about Ben Johnson too. I don't want Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson is a good offensive coordinator with the Detroit Lions. What does that mean? That he's going to be a great head coach? No, I want head coaches that have done this before. Vrabel has major success, right, and Gruden's won a world championship. Okay? Chucky's there.
And he's a culture setter, too. He's a culture changer. This team is rotten in the core right now, and they need someone to come in like Harbaugh just did for the Chargers, who were a joke last year. Now they're going to be a playoff team. Sean Payton with Denver, another example. They need someone who's done it that this team can point to and say, we trust this guy because look at his resume.
John Gruden would come in here and change the whole culture. The fans would embrace Gruden. They'd embrace Chucky. They love Chucky.
I agree.
Chucky is the best. He lives and breathes football. All right? Barstool made a smart move. by signing him. But he's got that clause. If he gets an opportunity, he's going.
I checked in yesterday with someone, and it's a 3-year deal through 3 Super Bowls, and he can leave at any point if he's offered any sort of coaching job. So he still wants to coach.
Of course, and he's he made a smart move for his career. Barstools is Barstools, man. I mean, it's Portnoy, what he's doing over there is ridiculous.
You see the clips of him watching the game with them last night? It was hilarious.
I've been watching every single clip. I watch them back. Like I said, I'm a big fan of John Gruden. Always have been. He's
hilarious. Yeah, I love
I was honored this year when he got in touch with me to go on his show. I love that, man. I loved him, forever. And so it was an honor to go on his show. I mean, for him to have me on, I was honored, man. So I would love to see him be our head coach. That would be phenomenal. I would love it so much, and I know Aaron would love it. I know he would. Those two could see them brainstorming. Oh my God. We'll see, bro. We'll see if that, we'll see if we have any luck when it comes to that. But I'm not sold and down. I'm not done with the season quite yet. I know other people are. I'm not, Jake. I'm not.
Until they have 9 losses. What's the point in just like you're still gonna watch? If you're a real Jet fan, you only get 17 of these a year. As bad as it is, you'll be watching Jets Colts Sunday. I know you'll be there leading the chant. This is how it goes. This is what we do.
Yeah, it is what we do, and we love them. We love them to death. It's what makes you. When you love I said this on Sunday. When you love something so much and they don't love you back, it destroys you. And that's how I felt Sunday. Like we love them so much and we're not getting the love back from them. And it just destroys you. It just destroys your being because you're so involved with them, and these players come and go. I say this all the time. These players come and go. The green and white is with us forever, bro. I told you, when there's an autopsy done on my body when I die, when that autopsy comes out, it's going to be a medical miracle. My blood came out green. My blood came out green. That's fucking right. And I'll be there Sunday, and I'll rock that house Sunday, and let's see what happens. Let's see where it goes. Very disappointing, but I will be ready for the green and white on Sunday. I can tell you that. But these rotations and this Costello,
Matt Nagy, head coach.
Let me tell you something. Here's what I want to get into. When they say a culture thing, right? The culture over there. What exactly is the culture? What is the culture? You know where I start with the culture? Yeah? Start with the fucking press. Start with the press room. Why don't you eliminate that? Move them over. Get them build another building. Build another building. Put them over there. Put them over there because you really don't have a lot of positive reporters given Jet. It's always a negative vibe.
Well, the problem is it's only been negative because the team doesn't win. And then you have the same people that have been there just expect the team to lose every year because that's all they've covered for now. It's playoff droughts reaching 14.
But you got these guys that have been there with championship. I'm around a long time. There's guys there that have been there with the championship years with Rex Ryan, and they were still motherfuckers. They were still no good. Still no good. Go back and look at some of these articles. You go back in 2010 and 2011. Look at some of the articles. You'll see some of them. I bet you start pulling them up. You're going to go, oh, shit. Negative vibe. Because that's what they do. That's what they do. And then you have the ones that aren't there all the time, like the Mark Canizaros, the Steve Serbies. All right? Don't tell me about these guys. I've been around a very, very long time. I know exactly what I'm talking about. And it's in writing. It's in writing. It's not like I'm imagining it. All right? I always tell people, I've been telling people this for 30, 40 years. I said, they tell me, did you see did you see the headline there? Did you see what was written in that column? I said, who wrote it? First thing, who wrote it? What's their agenda? You just believe everything you read? I mean, you just believe everything that you read? What's their agenda? What are they doing? So come on, man. Listen, we got to win. It's the bottom line.
That's it.
You got to win.
I think they win Sunday, Ed. I actually think they're going to win Sunday against the Colts. How do you view the Flacco to Richardson switch for Indy?
I think they're always going to win, Jake. Every game, I think they're going to win. There's not a game that I go into, and very rare is it a game I go into and go, we're not going to win this game. Mostly every game, I would say 90% of the games, I think we're going to win. Unfortunately, we don't win them. What do we win? About 30% of them? 35% of them? That's what we win. We win about 35%. It's really disappointing. Picking up blitzes on. I'm thinking of the offense now, and picking up blitzes and the discombobulation and the. It's just amazing to me. You're looking. We're in week 10. How bad was it in Arizona? I mean, how bad was that? We're
doing a tackling presentation this week in week 11. That's how bad it is for this defense right now.
When we lost to the Patriots, I really was. It was probably the worst upset I was in really, really long time. Like, I'm talking about that. I literally, after the game, had to pour a double glass of red wine. All right, because I didn't want to down my Fireman Ed beers at that point. So I said, I got to get something. Just to calm down. I was that nuts. And I said to myself, what are you doing? These guys are exchanging jerseys after the game. They were all patting one another on the back. Everybody's smiling. There's all kind, and I'm over here being a lunatic. On Sunday in that Arizona game, I sat on my couch and I said, and I didn't know what was going to go on. I thought that they were going to win the game. And from the moment it started, I said, I am not getting myself nutty with this. It's not happening. Because the defense never showed up.
No.
I mean, Jake, that was, I would say, the biggest, the dominance of that game with the Arizona Cardinals. They dominated them. They literally dominated them. 5 straight drives. 70 yards, 4 of them. 70 yards plus for 4 of them. Then they kicked a field goal, right, at the 5th one.
Yep.
I mean, and they really, honestly, they took the foot off the gas. This is what they did. Because they could have went even more. When that was the game, could have been 50. You could put a 50 burger. If that was Belichick, he would have put a 50 burger on him.
And the Jets never had any chance in the game. You knew when they didn't score the touchdown after Arizona was up 7-0. You're like, okay, well, here comes 14-3 because the defense never got off the bus that day. It was one of the worst performances this defense has ever had. And the fact that that's the conversation with this team after they were 3rd in the league in every defensive category last year, it's embarrassing, man. It's embarrassing.
Listen.
If they have any pride, they show up on Sunday and they put forth an effort. But
what kind of crowd you think is going to be there Sunday?
Well, the weather's going to be nice. It's a 1 o'clock game,
so there'll be more people because of the weather being alone.
Yep.
And you pay for your seats, so you more than likely going to show up. I know there'll be 50,000 diehards. I know that. That's all the time. I always tell you that. 50,000 are there. The other 30 to 35,000 are flakes. They come when they want to come. The 50,000 are diehards. And that doesn't mean that that's all we have as fans. There's people can't come. I say that all the time. They just can't afford to come. So they can't come, which I understand because we'd have millions. There's plenty of Jet fans that would love to be at the game, but I think you're going to see probably, I'd say at least 20,000 no-shows.
Yeah, I think you're right. It does help that it's no longer in prime time. Weather will be nice. But the team's 3-7. I mean, how many people are lining up to watch Jets Colts right now?
I understand, but you love your team. You come. You come when they're winning.
Yep.
Come when they're losing. You're a fan.
Brutal.
You bought the tickets. Go to the game.
Or donate them to someone who can use them.
Yeah, give them like you've been doing. That was phenomenal what you did. It's tremendous what you're doing. I love that. There's so many people that want to go to the games. We'll see what happens. I mean, I still believe this offense is gonna put it together because I just think they're close. They're right there. I just do. I think they're gonna have.
I felt that way going into Arizona, and then they scored 6 points. So I don't know what version of this offense we're ever going to see game to game.
You know what it is, though? They're moving the ball. So it's like, if they're not moving the ball, I'll say, okay, I'm delusional. But they're moving the ball.
Right.
They're shooting themselves in the foot, whether it's a penalty, it's a miscommunication with a pass, it's a drop ball, it's not picking up a blitz package. These are the things that stop drives from happening. And that part of the ball is close. The reason that I don't think we can win a lot of games is because of this defense. And the way they're rotating these guys. I mean, tell me one thing, Jake. What do they see in Javon Kinlaw or Michael Clemens? Especially Michael Clemens. Kinlaw, I think, played. Michael Clemens is. I mean, what
should be benched? 25 with the super chat here. Should be benched. He should not be playing. I mean, how many times do we need to see Michael Clemens make a poor decision with gap containment and not setting the edge and just not doing anything? He doesn't do anything.
It's constant gap. They don't fill their gaps. They're tentative at times. Then they're slashing. It's like it's out of control.
Right.
There's no discipline, none, and that came from Sauer. Nothing. I don't believe anything would have changed with Sauer. I don't. I think. Listen. I think their energy level would have been on another level because they really did they got screwed up when he left. I mean, there's no doubt about it, especially on the defensive end of the ball. Like those guys just took it personal. That's how I feel. I mean, look at the numbers. Look at the numbers.
Yeah, it's brutal. It's brutal. But you know what? Even if they kept solid, it's obviously turned out to be the wrong move. I don't know if this team is that much better in the grand scheme of things. The issue is not getting rid of Saleh. It's that he got to start the year as the coach. Knowing what we know now, obviously, if you could have got rid of him at the end of last year and brought in the different coaching staff, you could have maybe salvaged the season. But it all goes back to something you said earlier, right? Why were the Jets? Rodgers going down a year ago, 4 plays in. It gave everyone a mulligan. If he played last year and we were having this season last year, there would have been time for them to bring in Harbaugh. There would have been time for them to bring in Vrabel, bring in someone that could have actually salvaged this run with this core, and they would not be 3-7 if they were better coached. You insert any competent coach to this team instead of the Saleh staff, they're either 6-4 or maybe they're 7-3. They're not 3-7 with better coaching. I just refuse to believe that.
Well, I agree with that, and don't lose sight of the kicker shit in the bed.
Right.
That's
part of it too.
Zerline literally shitting the bed. He shit the bed. I mean, it's unbelievable. We gave him a 2-year contract, and he went south. I mean, listen, just 2 games. Just 2 games. No more. Just 2. If we won the 2 games, this season would be a different season. You talk about a different season.
Yeah.
All right? Because if you're in the pack at 5-6, you're right there. You're in the good teams start rolling come December. It's gonna be 6 games. You got 6 goddamn games starting December 1st, right? We got 6 games left after Sunday. And the first one's December 1st against the Seahawks. You got 6 games. It goes into January, right? We're playing January, I think, 6th or something against the Dolphins. You got 6 games. It's unbelievable what, we look at, I'm like, oh my God. Like, what could have gone wrong has gone wrong. Think about all the moves that didn't go right. Every one of them went wrong, right? Jermaine Johnson going down, right? Other than Quinnen, he's probably the best player on that defensive line.
For sure.
JFM is having a monster year in Denver. Bryce Hoff is gone. He played great for us. He's starting to play for the Eagles now. Finally, they're starting to play him a little bit. And Quentin Jefferson, who ran to Buffalo. He couldn't get he wanted no part of this place. He ran it, Buffalo. I mean, unbelievable. Like, you just think about some of the different. You mentioning C.J. Mosley, was big. Just from the leadership standpoint to hold that defense together. Never knowing that they're as fragile as they are. You know that they're fragile when you have 2 of our best players fighting with people on social media.
Right.
When you got Quincy Williams threatening to beat up people, that's not normal. Right? I mean, that's not normal. That's immaturity. Right? I mean, it just is. And I love Quincy. I love Sauce. I love the guys. But you're a pro. There's a reason you're a pro. Don't worry about the schmucks that are on the keyboard. What are you worried about them for? You can't worry about them. Everybody's got an opinion. Everybody has an opinion. It's unreal. Really, Jake, it's sad because we put so much time and effort into this. And we love them so much. And to just watch this has really been extremely, extremely disappointing. And this comes from a guy that's always got the glass half full.
Yeah. Well, and Ed, there's no path to it ending that you like, sure. They could be the Commanders a year from now. They could be what the Texans were last. They could be, but like, so much has to happen to get it right. And you have no faith in the ownership group to make the right hires. And there's a million different ways they can now go. I don't even think we truly know what the right direction is with 7 games still to go. It's like, it's sad because if it wasn't going to be this year to win the division or at least end the playoff drought, like, I have no idea what it's going to look like next year. I have no idea what the path is. It's just, they're kind of in the wilderness right now. And as a long-suffering fan like you and everyone else out there, it's like, at what point do we actually get to have a winning season? At what point do we actually get to see this team in the playoffs again? We don't know.
Well, that's where when they talk, but we were going into this before. When they talk about the culture, what do you consider the culture?
I just think
when they say the culture,
right.
What's the culture? The culture in that building. That's all you have. The culture in that building.
Yeah.
What's the culture?
That's a losing culture from the standpoint.
Well, I know. Well, we know that, but where does it start? Where does it start?
I think it is. It's a mentality of like they start losing. It's like, well, we're the Jets. We're supposed to lose. Like Douglas last year loses Rodgers, does nothing, cost them a chance to go to the playoffs with how good the defense and special teams were last year. This year, same catastrophic mistake. Doesn't replace the kicker. We're just gonna lose. Whatever. We really can't do anything. The woe is me. This team gets punched in the mouth. They crack. They fold more times than not. Pittsburgh, they're leading. Rodgers throws the bad pick before the end of the first half. They get boat raced out of there, even though they were up 15-13 despite the pick at halftime. Arizona comes out there. The Jets had 9 days to get ready for them, and that's the effort. They allow Arizona to score in every possession of the first half. You're down 24-6 at halftime. It's just it's a culture of we're not supposed to be good anyway. I guess we're the Jets.
And we thought the culture with Salah and Douglas, when you look at them, when they were drafting guys and changing, the dynamic. Now we're going to start all over again. All
right.
My biggest thing with Woody Johnson and Christopher Johnson here's my biggest thing with them. I do believe they want to win. I don't think there's any question they want to win. The difference is when you are so into something that you love so much, like we are, it's every day, 24/7, 365. 365. We're going to get this right. That's where the disconnect is with the ownership. The ownership, I don't believe, is 365, 24/7. I believe they're it's their job. I believe they love them. But I don't think they love them like a Rooney, there's just owners that's it. This is what they want to be there. When you go to Pittsburgh, Jake, when I went up to Pittsburgh for the 5th time, it's a whole nother ball game. That is all about the Pittsburgh Steelers, the fans, the Steelers, the way the game is run, the way the overall game is run in the stadium. It's all about the fans. It's all about the Pittsburgh Steelers home field. Win that game. Win that game. They're in our house. Win that game. We don't have that. You go into our stadium, it's everything but the team. We're promoting this, we're doing that. It's T-shirt contests. It's unbelievable. When you look at when you go to other stadiums that have true home field, we do not have true home field. There's no way. Now, don't get me wrong. We have the greatest chant in all of sports. We're into it when we're into it. I'm talking about who's running the overall scheme. It's not about the team. It's about all the other interests. This is what I'm talking about with the ownership. They have other interests. It's not completely on the team. It's just the way it is. Do I believe Woody and Chris want to win? Yes, 1,000,000%. They don't know how to win. They don't put enough time into wanting to win. It should be all about the New York Football Jets. That's it. End of story. Period. And that's where the fans are so irate over it, because they don't believe when you have an owner that goes and becomes the ambassador to London, okay? You don't see the Rooneys going over and being an ambassador. They're fucking there. They're there. All right? It's crazy. It's insane. We just, we got to deal with it. We got to deal with it. Hey, Woody tried to get the West Side Stadium. All right. He tried to get our own home. So there's a lot of things that Woody has done. And I can't knock him for everything. People don't know. They forget. Okay. But your ownership's got to be all in. You got to be all in. 365, 24/7. I'm a believer in that. If you want to be successful in this life, it's 365, 24/7. It's like the New York City Fire Department. They'll never disappoint you. They're always there. Always there. Love being a New York City fireman. To this day, 24/7, 365. You ring that phone, they're there in 3 minutes. 3.5 minutes. Let's go. It's what we want. We want our ownership to be like that. Be like the fire department. Be like the New York City Fire Department.
Amen. Amen.
It's only the truth, bro. It's really the truth. And that's where I have the problem with Woody and Chris, because they're not 365, 24/7. They're just not. And, if I own that team, be 365, 24/7. It's the only thing that matters. The green and white. Nothing else. There's no other interests. Right there. And we make it the best it could be. All right? You make enough money. You don't need all of these things that are going on at the games, promoting this, promoting that, promoting this, promoting that. You see the Steelers, you go to that game, they're promoting a couple of things, but most of it, when there's timeouts, Jake, they're focused on the fans in the stadium.
Right.
In the stadium, they're focused on the fans.
And MetLife's like a club. I mean, it should be the focus should be on trying to win games.
It's a dance floor. It's a dance floor. You can't even speak. You couldn't. You can't. I have a hard time. behind the bench, I have a hard time talking to the players when there's a timeout because the music goes on immediately and is blasted. You can't hear nothing. How could you interact? There's no interacting. It's on to the next thing, on to the next thing. Oh, we have to entertain them. We have to entertain. We have to entertain. We have to entertain. We have to entertain. Oh, they're on the phones. Oh, we got to entertain. We got to entertain. What happened to the football game? What about the home field advantage? Those are my two things that if you said to me, what would I want to change in the New York Jets football operation? Those are the two things. 365, 24/7 ownership. That's all it's about. And home field advantage, you make that place the best it possibly could be that teams don't want to come in there. And that's part of ownership. That's a big part of ownership. You got to have the people around you that say, oh, no. Forget the T-shirt contest. All right? Forget this. We're doing this. You know? And it's the way they designed the stadium. Everything is boxes. All the suites. That's why when the stadium was built, it went like this. So they get more suites rather than this, where you're on top of the opposing team. The good teams, they're on you. They're on top of you. I've been all over this NFL. I know what I'm talking about. All right? I go and I hit myself in the fucking head every time going, look at this. Look at this. When I went out of Pittsburgh, I was a lunatic, an absolute maniac. That day coming home, driving home 6 hours, all I was thinking of was how home field that they had. And that was my 5th time up there. All right. You would think after all these years with the internet and social media, that they would sway towards, what we're doing. Oh, no. Still a home field. It's all about what's the Stick song that they play?
No, Renegade.
Renegade. Yeah. They play. They can't wait to play Renegade. They can't wait to play it. Oh, boy.
Ed, hang in there, man. I know you'll get the place as loud as it could possibly be Sunday. So bring us a win, all right?
Jake, the only thing you can do is be a fan. I'm not a magician. I'm going there Sunday. I'm not fucking happy. I ain't happy. All right? It's up to them, to their players to play. Play the game. We'll support you. Play the game. You want us to be out of control, you be out of control. You be out of control. You know what I mean? The fans are going to show up. Now what? What am I going to? I'm going to be jumping up and down like a lunatic? No. You make plays, and the fans will support you. It's that simple. So we'll see where it goes on Sunday. I'll be there. Anyway, all the best, my brother.
Ed, you're the man. Appreciate your time as always, ladies and
Fireman
gentlemen.
Ed, John Monhay, go out there, buy this beer.
Show the QR code. We'll go zoom in right now.
QR code for John. If you find it in your heart, $5, whatever you can afford. Listen, he's battling. He's trying to walk again. Please. I know it's been a rough year, but find it in your heart. And even the face of the guy on the thing he's an all right guy. Give him a chance. And the beer tastes good. Anyway, all the best, Jake. Here's to you guys.
Cheers to you, Ed. The link was just posted in the chat for those who want direct access to it. Ed, you're the best. Good luck, my friend.
Love you, bro. Talk to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the great Fireman Ed in his weekly spot on the show. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. We'll take some of your calls coming up on the show. Reminder, if you don't already know, we're available in audio form. If you want the show in a podcast on either Apple, Spotify, you name it, it's there. Check it out by searching The Jake Asman Show wherever you get your podcast. There's something I wanted to play that just speaks to just how pathetic this performance was by the Jets on Sunday. This was Brian Baldinger going through some of the film.
It was a great day for the Cardinals defense.
it was a lousy day for the Jets offensive line. How many guys get beat right here? Like here comes Dante Stills right up the gut at Aaron Rodgers. And here comes edge pressure, and Aaron Rodgers is forced to just throw this ball away. All right? It was over and over and over again. Now you get six-man pressure here. Who's coming? Who's not coming? And here you go. You get Kazir White coming free right here. On 3rd and 2, they do complete it. Okay, they throw hot. Then here you go. Six-man pressure. Why are the Jets sliding to the back so that Mack Wilson comes completely free? Like, that's just a breakdown right there. So, you get edge pressure, you get an errant throw. Now you get this. Inside pressure right here. Like, it looks terrible. Like, here it comes. Like, there looks like there's indecision here on Morgan Moses. Like, he thinks Ali is there, but the back is there. And here comes L.J. Collier chasing Aaron Rodgers. Like, here comes Jake Lucetta off the edge right here. They would have to sit down Tyron Smith in this game. Like, here he comes off the edge to the right foot of Aaron Rodgers. Like, just pulling his leg apart. It was bad. Real bad. It was no different in the run game. Like, here comes Ruckert over here. And he's going to get beat right at the point. And Breece Hall's got a bubble out here. And there's 4 Cardinals right there to tackle him. And then you get this. They had chances here. At the beginning of the 3rd quarter, they had a good drive. And it was just like, here you go. Tippmann gets beat. Everybody got beat. Lopez. And you see this right here. Gagering, Taylor, Demerson probably should have had a pick. And that probably defines the Jets offense right there. But they weren't done. They weren't done. There was still more. Like, here you go. It didn't matter. Olu in there at left tackle. He gets beat. And Aaron Rodgers scrambling. And here comes Xavier Thomas with the sack fumble. Like, the Cardinals were just so much better up front than the Jets. It was a domination from start to finish in this game. The Cardinals whipped the Jets yesterday, but maybe this one play late in the 4th quarter on 4th down and 4, maybe this play defined not just this game, but the Jets season. Even when Aaron gets great protection, all right, and he gets outside the pocket and he's got time to scan, outrunning a 330-pound defensive tackle. He's got the rookie right there, Malachi Corley. I mean, it's a gimme. They should get in the end zone right here. But this has been the case all year. Like, just the basics, the easy things, they can't execute. They can't execute just the basics. Just a scramble drill right there. I know he's a rookie and probably should have sat down. Who knows? But regardless, that should be a touchdown. That's the Jet season.
This is brutal. We're still on the same page with guys, and it's 10 games in. It's just, it never ends, man. Gusbuster Hotline, it's open. Want to shout out to Chris J. Chris, he gifted a membership earlier in the show. Thank you, Chris. If you're interested in becoming an Asmaniac, hit that join button up on your screen, and you can support the channel that way. Appreciate everyone out there. Tom Ace writes in, the dopey suites are empty too. Killed our home field advantage the way the layout is. Old Meadowlands used to be deafening. Yeah, I agree. Now, MetLife can get loud. I've experienced it, but it's not a great stadium. It's not. And Giant fans would agree, too. It stinks. Only the Jets and Giants, who share the New York media market, could come up with a concept of the most bland stadium in the league. A giant air conditioning unit is what they built. And neither fan base likes it. Jaden, will the Jets ever make the postseason again? I would hope. The longest, I looked it up because I'm like, how bad is this really? The longest playoff drought ever is a 2-way tie between the Cardinals and the Commies, formerly Redskins. 25 seasons. Jets are about to hit 14, so we're approaching NFL history, but we still got a long way to go. Harvey says, I got hit in the face with a huge fence post this morning, black eye, and broke my nose. Probably not as painful as watching the Jets, right, Harvey? Feel better, brother. That's brutal. Sorry to hear that. I don't know what you want me to say. Sorry to hear that, man. That's tough. Let's say hello to Philly Doodles on the Gusbuster hotline. He's first up today. What's up, Philly?
Hey, what's going on, man?
How are you?
I'm all right, man. Just, Fireman Ed get you fired up. You feel good about it. It is alarming. I mean, I've been in the chat all day since he started. JFM, no matter what we put it, JFM, JJ, Mosley, it's all been in reason why leadership is taking a shit this year right now. They're on the field, changes defense, but then we can still harken back to you let Greg Zuerlein live for 3 games of shit. If he does it for 1, you win another one. We're 4 and 6 coming into this. You win this, we're 5 and 6. You still look better. We can keep going back and forth, but that's why it's whatever. I'll take it a day at a time. Still, it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, if they start winning games, people will be excited again, and there'll be some hope. But even if they win Sunday, it doesn't do anything for me. Will do something to me. Actually, winning 2 games in a row, win a game after you have an extended rest after your bye week. But no one buys it, so I'm not. You got to see it.
But we put ourselves in danger, like I do myself. My fiance gets carried away with plans. Right now, I'm in the danger zone. Obviously, I should be half dead, according to Gary. I'm fighting for survival. First, though, one thing about the Gary thing: does he think Aaron Rodgers is maybe like Rambo since he smokes ayahuasca? Is he like Rambo? Right? He should love him.
Not to be loose Philly noodles.
And I have a little something for Bobby. I don't know. But here's the official Bobby Brick. It's a paver, laying the foundation of the show.
The Bobby Brick?
Himself. And this is the Bobby Brick, and this is the Jake Asman official brick. Because we got to get bricked up. And here it is. You got to let them know. I know it's corny, but we're ripping heads off, okay? You get to Anthony Richardson, you get him early, let him pass, rip the head off, buried underneath the pillow. Get excited. We're getting bricked up. Let's go.
All right, I'll play it for you, Philly. You're making the effort.
Let's get bricked up.
Good call from Philly. I love it. Tough to be bricked up when you're 3-7, though, I will say. Text from Fireman Ed. I apologize for cursing so much. I'll be a little more appropriate next show with a bunch of angry emojis. He speaks for all of us, man. It's just... It's tough to imagine, even if you're one of the more negative fans that supports this team being 3-7. Entertain me. Starting late, but love what Ed said. Stay positive. Rodgers literally only 10-ish games into a new team. Believe until the season's over. Yeah, look, I mean, I'm not rooting for losses yet. I want to see this team win. Win Sunday. Get the 4-7. That's all you can do. Go win the next 5 in a row. Make us believe. Do I think it's going to happen? No. But make us believe. If it was wrong. Gator says, if you have any doubts about Gruden, please watch his YouTube show. Gruden loves football. Just pick an episode and watch his passion, experience, and intelligence. LFG. Look, you can do a lot worse than John Gruden. Is he perfect? No. But would he instill a culture that this team needs? Like getting out of its, woe is me. We're the Jets. We always lose. I think he'd be helpful there. I do. Plus, he's an offensive-minded guy. I think you could have him with Rodgers for a year, and you draft a quarterback that sits. Rodgers is the bridge next year.
It's Jets, Jets. I love Fireman Ed, too.
We need that, baby. Come on, man. More of your calls right now. Bobby Midnight's here. Hello, Bobby.
Well, at least he apologized for his cursing. Like, you usually put question of violent language on the show. It's his family show.
Did you say violent language?
When people curse, you usually put...
on behalf of the Jake Asman Show, we apologize for the foul language.
that one. I did curse. Whether you put it up for me, I didn't.
Well,
curse.
you were referencing the clip, so I played the clip.
Yeah,
That's how this works.
yeah, that one. So you did put it up for him. Yeah, my brother loves that. He says hello to you.
Hi, Mikey.
Peace of the love. Yeah, I think hopefully we better pray to win this weekend. We're praying. We got to get on our hands and knees to pray that we will win the game tomorrow. Sunday. Tomorrow's Saturday. I meant Sunday. Yeah, right? You agree?
Do I agree that tomorrow is Saturday?
I mean, no, we have to win on Sunday. I mean,
well, I do agree that tomorrow is Saturday, if you're asking.
Yeah, but we got to agree to win on Sunday.
I hope so.
Yes, I hope so. Well, if we win by 1 point, it's a win. Who cares?
A win is a win.
Yeah. So do you think the Giants Stadium should have had a roof on top of it?
MetLife, you mean?
Yeah, MetLife.
Yeah, I definitely think it should have been a retractable roof.
Yeah, it's like a big air conditioner, which is it looks horrible.
Well, you could do events there year round if you had a roof too. I never understood why two teams sharing the cost of a stadium wouldn't want a retractable roof.
Yeah, and then they can't change the grass when people get hurt all the time.
Gator writes in, Bobby's bathrobe belongs in the Hall of Fame along with his orange chair. Might need to write a song about his bathrobe soon.
That's a good one. I like that one.
Hold on, let me handle some housekeeping here. Alan says Josh Allen will cement his MVP campaign Sunday with a win over Kansas City. Alan, who's not actually a Jet fan, writing in on a Jet show about Josh Allen. Alan, thanks for the time. Your day is over.
Now look what you've done, Alan. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to pull you out of the chat and cast you down with the sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give him another 24 hours to think about it.
Continue, Bobby. No, not poor Alan. Not poor Alan.
Okay, what about when
he left the show for like 3 months and then he came back the second Salah was fired. He feeds off the negative. I don't have time for it today. I'm good.
Okay, what about when he gives you memberships? You're not negative on that.
Well, yeah, because I'm a capitalist. So if he wants to gift memberships, great. But that doesn't mean we have to allow his comments about Josh Allen winning an MVP.
Well, I don't know. I thought he liked the Lions.
He likes any team that's not the Jets.
Yeah. I have to agree with that.
Let's see.
Yeah, good going. All right, well.
At the beach laughing my ass off. All I have to say is lose out. Clean fucking house and draft Joe Alt. Merry Christmas to all the solid truthers.
Oh, who's done that 4 o'clock Boy Green today?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll stay tuned for your show this afternoon.
I can't wait.
Have a great day. What?
I said I can't wait.
Well, I can't wait to see who your guest is today.
Maybe I don't have a guest. Maybe it's a solo show.
Well, maybe you need a co-host like me. Okay, well,
maybe.
Have a great day.
I'll have my people call your people.
I volunteered to co-host, but you don't accept me. So, you have a great day. We'll talk to you.
You're leaving? I had more questions for you.
What questions is that?
No, it's okay. You can leave.
Well, you know, I need to walk more to survive unless Jake is going live. Gotta elevate my leg on Bobby.
It's a mystery who the co-host is at 4 o'clock today. I will share something with the audience. The show will start earlier than 4 because I have somewhere to be today at 5:30, roughly. Expect a 3 p.m. show. Ladies and gentlemen, more of your calls right now. Let's say hello to the Hamburger, who's up next on the program. Hello, Hamburger.
What's up, Jake? What's up, Asmaniacs? How are we doing today?
Oh, as good as one can be, whose job is to talk about the Jets every day.
So this weekend, I'm going to bet everything against the Jets. Do the complete opposite. My lineups will include no Jets this week. This way, hopefully, we get a win and Although everybody that I normally pick ends up scoring 20, 30 points instead of 3 and 5. Just hopefully we can change that around. But I do have the Jets losing this weekend to the Colts 24-21. That's my take on this weekend. So I don't know, man. I really like Pete Carroll to come in as like a president of football operations, something like that. Somebody that could oversee things for when, if and when Woody leaves, or at least maybe even just take him out of the picture a little bit more and have somebody with a little bit more of a football sound mind take over and hire the GM and hire the coach. And I think that would be a smart move on the franchise. Not that I think it's going to happen, but that's something that I'd like to see happen.
I agree with that. I also think, and I'm sure we'll get a lot more into this once we get more information. Like, besides the obvious, hey, hire the right GM, hire the right coach, who's Woody hiring to help him hire those people, right? Like, who's a part of the process to find the next general manager and coach? Because they've done a variety of different things over the years of trying to find that guy. Search firm, Casserly and Wolf, Christopher Johnson just listening to Peyton Manning calling it. Like, what's the strategy to actually try and hire the right people this time? Who's going to be in the interviews with Woody, helping him, asking the right questions that need to be asked to determine who the right candidates are?
Correct. I think that's something that could be started to look at now. I mean, that's not something you have to wait for the offseason. That's something they should be doing now, talking to Pete Carroll. And I don't know who's out there. I haven't done my digging in that's available, but I know Pete Carroll would definitely fit that spot. Definitely fit that spot.
Yeah, would he want to do it? That's my question. Would he want to do it?
I mean, I don't know. I have no idea. But the more I think about it, and the Gruden is sounding more and more likable with me. I do like Vrabel. He's still my number one pick.
It's Jets, Jets. I love Fireman Ed too.
I was watching some of his coaching clips last night. He's awesome, right? I never took too much thought into him.
Oh, he's awesome. My favorite John Gruden clip is the opening to Hard Knocks in 2019 when he was the Raiders coach. He's like, "I'm not about dreams. I'm about nightmares." That speech is so. Everyone watching after you're done with this, watch Gruden's Hard Knocks speech. It's so good. Look, does he have the greatest of resumes? No. Does he kind of fit what this team I think needs at this time? Offensive guy, culture changer. I think it fits. He's a quarterback guy, and if you want him to oversee the development of a quarterback, you take someone in the first round. Rodgers is here for at least next year. And, I think the thing with Gruden, too, is he'd hire a pretty good staff. Think about it. He got fired or resigned with the Raiders. Rich Bisaccia is the interim. They go to the playoffs. That was a guy he hired on his staff.
Yeah. Correct. Now, do you think it'd be out of the question if he would come in as an offensive coordinator, and who knows, maybe the Jets pick up a Rex Ryan? And
I don't think it'd be Rex with Gruden as the
Gruden. No.
Yeah, I guess it's possible Gruden would be an OC for the right team if he gave him a chance to get back into it. But
I think that's what I'm looking at.
I think his brother would probably be the OC. He probably would hire Jay as the OC if John was the head coach.
Okay. All right. Listen, man, you guys enjoy your day. Hopefully we squeak out a win, but I am betting against the Jets this weekend.
Good.
I'm putting money against the Jets. Whenever I put money on the Jets, it doesn't do anything good for me. So I'll be betting against the Jets this weekend. But hey, listen, you guys have fun, and hopefully I see a bunch of people out at the game this weekend. Do you know if anybody's gonna be out at L5?
I don't know which listeners are going, but I can tell you that you will run into some Asmaniacs that are gonna be like, "Are you the hamburger?" And you're gonna be like, "Yes, I am."
I'm hoping for. I want to meet some people, man. I like it.
I know.
I want to meet more Jet fans.
The weather will be good, so Jake Gage will be there. Go hang out with Nick Shine over at his tailgate. That's a good
Where's that?
To start. I don't know. Jay Graves, what lot number is Nick? We'll get that for you, hamburger. We got you.
I'll check in. I'll check in the chat.
K5.
Enjoy your day, everybody.
There you go. K5, according to the chat. Shout out to Jacob, who became an Asmaniac. Appreciate that. We've gotten 2 members this show. That's awesome. Thanks to everyone who's supporting the program. We have some controversy in the chat here. Greg Rallo writes in, "Enough, Bobby. BS. He is a Giants fan." To which Bobby has responded, "Greg, please shut up. I was a Jet fan as long as you were. Okay, boy." Greg, where is your big mouth, boy? That's Bobby's go-to insult. He'll write whatever and then write, boy. Man with a rig. Jake, take a walk with Frank the Tank. I mean, if Frank wants to take a walk with me, I'd love to do it. K-Sax, brother, whoever we bring in is going to forget how football works. That's how it always goes with this team. Not wrong. Greg says, love pissing Bobby off. Uh-oh. Greg versus Bobby sounds like it's happening in the chat. Open phone lines for anyone who wants in. I'll stay on a little while longer. If nobody calls in, though, that's it. We're done. No super chats. That's it. We're done. But I will repost the link, give people a chance if they want in. Bo says, hamburger, Jets don't bet against Jets. Well, he's trying the reverse jinx, Bo. He's doing everything in his power to help the team win. I know what he's doing. He's doing everything in his power to try and help the squad win. You got to respect it.
The Jets are going to come back. No, they're not. They're never going to come back. They're never going to come back.
It's like Bill Burr, the king of Staten Island. He bet on the Jets. Let's see. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Bobby writes in, Greg, I bet you won't call in chicken shit. You don't have balls, boy. Okay. Mike D's nuts in the house. More infighting amongst each other. Shake my head. Unfortunately, Mike, that's where we're at these days. The Jets are fighting the Jets. These nuts. But we do have Mike D's nuts in the house. Derek, Jake, did you see Mike Williams' red line post trolling Rodgers? I did. And you know what? Don't have any problem with it. It's just classic Jets, right? I mean, they threw maybe 3 routes to Mike Williams all year with him just running deep. He goes to Pittsburgh, catches the game-winning touchdown his first game on that same play. I was only screaming for the first 9 weeks of the year for that to be used more. Saying, hey, start games with it. Take the top off the defense. Brandon, Jets Avengers Civil War. Scott Foster, 2 more losses and the Jets world will consume itself. We're living the pain, baby. Josh Mock is up next on the Gusbuster hotline this morning. Hello, Josh.
What's up, man? So, I've been sucked into the Twitter realm of everyone talking about coaches and whatnot, and I'm watching your show. I don't see how we don't just throw the bag at Mike Vrabel. I've come on here before. I live in Tennessee. You asked me how everyone here felt about Vrabel. If you go back and look at our coaching history, we have nobody with a 500 or greater record in the history. Everyone drops off at the end, even if they start out good. I mean, it just happens. Vrabel's got a winning record. He's above 500. Playoffs, AFC champions. I think this is a no-brainer. I'm not really sold on Gruden, at all, to be honest with you. I mean, I get the culture thing, but I think Mike Vrabel is a no-brainer.
I agree. I wonder would he take the job because he might have other opportunities. So you got to get the money with him.
And being a Belichick guy. I mean, I could definitely see that, but I mean, he went to Cleveland to take a position there. I mean, I get Stefanski, but I mean that they were a dying franchise too at one point. Maybe he saw what Stefanski did there, willing to take the challenge on here in New York. And I really just don't think that Rodgers is that big of a turnoff as everyone thinks to coaches. You get to, if they tell him that he can draft, whoever comes in can draft their own quarterback, and they have a year of Rodgers, so he can sit. I mean, that sounds like a pretty good scenario. You might win right now with a veteran. Your guy gets to sit, and you get to pick your guy. I mean,
well, especially because, Josh, look at the other options at quarterback if you're looking for a veteran or a stopgap. They're awful. The options stink.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think it's a better situation than people think. It's just the culture and where we're at right now that looks bad from the outside. But I mean, you get Aaron Rodgers for a year and get to pick a guy too. or pick a guy next year, whichever the case may be, or let a guy sit. I mean, whatever way it goes, you're getting a Hall of Famer quarterback for a year possibly and picking your future. I think and it's not like we don't have pieces like Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall. Those guys are still showing out.
Yeah, and the O-line's intact for the most part. You'll have a new stud left tackle. Let's hope in Olu. I'm excited to see Olu play this week. That'll be at least something to watch.
Dude, do you ever watch Bussin' with the Boys? I mean,
I've seen the show.
Yeah,
they hate Keith Carter. Yeah, all the time.
Yeah, it was awful. I mean, Tennessee fans hated Downing and Carter. If I'm being real with you,
Downing, I really don't think has been brutal.
He hasn't, but I'm just saying, Tennessee fans despise him. I mean, he got the DUI, yada yada, all that. It was just a lot of drama at the time surrounding him. But yeah, that's my spiel. I mean, we go all in on Vrabel. I think we'll see this place turn around. The culture. He's a no nonsense guy. Taylor Lewan loved him. Everyone that plays for him loves him.
And he also has a very good relationship with Rodgers too, by the way. So I actually do think having Rodgers would be appealing for Vrabel for 1 year, and then you draft a quarterback that could plan your long-term future.
Absolutely. But I guess we'll see. For now, he's got to make it through the season. So get through that. Hopefully, we'll find out before Woody takes off who our coach and GM. I don't know enough about GMs to even to really have an input on it, to be honest with you. I don't keep up with who's, the up and coming guys in that world. So I know a lot of stuff from Detroit with that, was it Agnew? I guess, I don't know. But I don't keep up with it enough to really have a say in it or an opinion. But hopefully, I mean, it can't get worse with whichever staff we get next year. I hope it can't get worse. Maybe we go on a run and maybe we go on a run and win out. I don't know. I'm never been disappointed in my
life.
in
there, all right? One game at a time. The run starts Sunday.
There you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, Josh Mock. Ladies and gentlemen, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Start getting your underdog picks in, by the way, for Sunday. We'll come back and we'll put something for people in the Discord, what I'm leaning towards this week. Promo code Asman if you've never played underdog. Hey, how about this? I'm glad we stayed on a little while longer because Dre has dropped a 5 spot of channel memberships for the people.
Money.
Shout out to Dre for coming through. If you hear your name called, because of Dre, you're a channel member. David Clemens, Michael Hutchinson, COVID1984, Justin, and David Ozuna, all receiving channel memberships. Hit that Dre emoji. Dre, where you been, brother? We haven't heard from you calling in a while. Ladies and gentlemen, more of your calls. We'll check in right now with someone we know very well on this show. He always provides a very unique perspective. We say hello to this guy.
Plants are trying to kill me, so I think I'll eat a stick of butter.
That's the outro, though. That's not the intro. That's the outro. But
I'm going to switch it up, man. We need to change the vibes. I had a salad last night. I'm still alive.
Okay. All right.
2 nights in a row, I've had a salad. Hasn't killed me yet.
So your position is that plants don't let off toxins as a defense mechanism, right? That's your position?
No, my position is my Caesar salad is not trying to kill me.
Okay, so they do let off toxins. Why do they do that?
They might not. I don't think my Caesar salad does.
No. Okay. So there was a study done by Bruce Ames out of the University of Cal Berkeley where he went through basically every vegetable you could get off the shelf at a grocery store. Right. None of them had less than 60 carcinogens. So
my position
is one of them.
I think if I have a salad, I'm better off than having a cigarette. One salad healthier for you than smoking one cigarette.
A cigarette is
Would you agree?
And a cigarette is a plant. It's tobacco. It wants to kill you. You should not consume plants.
Am I better off eating a Caesar salad or smoking one cigarette?
You're not better off eating a Caesar salad. You're better off eating a steak.
Well, those aren't the options, though. The only choices
they didn't have steak on the menu at the restaurant.
No. I'm saying in this scenario, it's either you have a Caesar salad or you have a cigarette, and you're telling me that the cigarette is healthier than having a Caesar salad, correct?
Is that what I said?
I'm asking you. It's a yes or no question.
No, neither of them are healthy. It's like saying
which is more
Zach
healthy,
Wilson
though?
or Tim Boyle.
Yeah, but you got to choose. I mean, the Jets have to choose.
A steak would be more healthy.
A steak is not an option. A steak would have been Aaron Rodgers last year. That doesn't exist. You refuse to answer the question because you know it is a absurd statement you're making.
I had to make a statement. See, you tried to put words in my mouth.
No, you won't. Hey, Gary, stop with the words in your mouth.
Did I say tobacco?
Let me finish. We'll give you one more chance to answer a very simple question. You only have two options. There's no any other option. It's either you do this or you do that. What is healthier for me to put in my body? A Caesar salad?
Neither one of those things.
Or a cigarette?
Neither one of those things. Neither one of those things.
I'm not going to do the clapping seal part.
What do you mean?
I do want to, but I'm not going to do it because Gator's going to use it out of context, and then it's going to go viral, and then I'm going to have to look at it forever.
Incredible. He just won't answer the question. It's hilarious. One thing I can say is the Jets are trying to kill me and every Jet fan. Remember, Gary will never be wrong. Let's say hello to Dre. He just gifted some memberships. I'm sure he's down to the dumps, but he's still supporting the show. What's up, Dre?
What's up, my brother? Jake, listen. It's not your fault. You know, our team lets us down. You have literally done everything that you can to keep this community afloat. But I think we can all agree that's why Gary says Gary at 3D Boxing. It does not say Gary at 3D Nutrition. Please do not ask Gary another nutritional question, because if he's trying to say that salads are bad for you, well, first of all, he wants to eat whole sticks of butter, okay? There are certain things that you should not do, okay? So trust and believe. I'm not questioning. I'm not counting on Gary to provide any kind of nutritional value. I will take nutritional advice from Carly because the cookies are amazing. And I'm sure that she makes them. I don't know what. I know she puts crack in it, but crack is good.
I was about to say, I mean, be careful, because the reason why they're so good is because what's in there is might not be legal.
I'm sure it's not. I'm sure it's not. I think Genergy still has the box from the last time from the I think it's from the Niners game when we all got together down in there for the Niners game, and I had the box of cookies that Carly left behind, and I know that Genergy took that with her. So there may be drugs in there, but that's still better nutritional value than any kind of advice that Gary's gonna give you. And I love you, Gary, but stay in your lane, bro. That offering people, start eating sticks of butter. That's really gonna help people's cholesterol. And okay, that's definitely not what we're doing. But back to being a dejected Jets fan. This team has let me down far more times than I'd care to admit, and it's not. At this point, it's frustrating when we come as the fans and we're coming with more energy. You know, we're coming in with the energy that Bobby has from the back window when he's trying to wave at you to get in there. Every Jet fan comes with that same energy for this team, and then the actual players don't come and show up. So I'm just like, whatever. I sign on because you're rational, because this is a place where I can kind of commiserate with my fellow Jets fans, where we could be frustrated.
Dre. Gary writes in, Dre has the best medical advice. He's in tip-top shape. Definitely listen to his advice on health and nutrition.
Hey, you know what I could advise you? I could advise you on what not to do, and sometimes that's just as good, Gary. But
SEAL Team 75, assemble.
The clapping seals, they're alive and well in the chat.
Brother, stop it. Stop it. Butter? Really? Whole stick of butter. That's nothing. That's right. I just stick it out of.
What is non-nutritional about butter?
No. All I'm saying is you talking about plants emitting carcinogens and this and that, and it's like salad is now bad. How is salad bad?
I thought I thoroughly explained that, because it lets off toxins. A head of lettuce emits about 80 different carcinogens, right? You can get everything.
And when is it doing? Is it doing that in the grocery store when I'm going to pick it up?
Wow, Yeah, that's how it's so a plant.
So you don't wash your food.
You asked me a question. I'm going to answer the question.
Yeah,
So
okay.
A plant is a living organism. All living organisms want to survive.
Correct.
Okay, so a cabbage or a Brussels sprout or a head of lettuce can't bite you. It can't charge you. It can't hook you. Right. What it does to survive is produces poisons, right? That's why you just can't go out in the wilderness and start eating mushrooms because it will kill you because they're poisonous, right?
Okay.
All plants do this. There was a study by Dr. Bruce Ames out of the University of Berkeley, right? Cal Berkeley.
Okay.
He examined every single vegetable and plant you could get at the grocery store.
Okay.
All of them had carcinogens. None of them had less than 60 carcinogens. The reason why they do that is to survive. So they let off poisons so that you don't eat it, right? So I'm going to let off poison. So if you try to eat me, I'm going to kill you or try to kill you, right?
Okay.
This is why you can get celery dermatitis or Lyme blisters, right? Because you're not supposed to be eating it, right?
Okay.
It is letting off toxins because it doesn't want to be eaten. Yes, the plant wants to kill you so you don't kill it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, all of that makes sense. But I just have one question.
So they're trying to kill you. They want to kill you so you don't kill it. So when I say plants are trying to kill you, I mean they're trying to kill you. This is not complicated.
So so question. Then we'll move from plants to animals. Can we so deer's not trying to kill us?
It's not by poisoning you. Not by poisoning you.
Oh, it's not poison. Okay. So then
not poisoning you, no.
So then the plants are actively trying to kill us.
Trying to kill anything that wants to eat us. Absolutely.
Okay. So plants are trying to kill us. Animals aren't trying to kill us. Lions and tigers in Africa really want to be our friends and give us hugs, and bears and all that stuff. So on that note.
So
what about the animals that eat the plants and how come they don't die?
It produce poisons to kill you. What?
Okay. So what about the animals that eat the plants?
Okay, great question. So there are specific animals that eat specific plants. Horses eat a very specific grass. Cows eat a very specific grass. If you give them a different kind of grass, they get poisoned. Yeah. A koala bear eats a very specific leaf. If it goes eats a leaf off your tree, it gets poisoned. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, please. Ladies and gentlemen, please. One at a time. Gary.
What's up, man?
I just want to let you know, I am with you with plants have carcinogens. Those plants give off carcinogens to protect them from the environment. From the environment, not from people eating them. From the environment.
They want to be eaten. Plants want to be eaten.
Hold on.
Plants want to be eaten. It's yes or no, Hamburger. Plants want to be eaten. Yes or no?
You're misinterpreting
you can start by answering the question. You
I read the article. I read it. Can you shut up for a second?
Can you answer the question?
I'm going to if you shut your
Like Dre asked me a question and I answered it. Can you do that? Are you capable of that? Like Dre asked me a question and I answered it. So I'm asking you a question. Do plants want to be eaten? Yes or no?
No plant wants to be eaten.
No. Okay. Plants don't want to be eaten.
Hold on.
Thank you.
So we're assuming that plants are sentient. Are we assuming that plants are sentient? That the plants want things?
No.
This is what we're saying now?
I asked Dre a question. Dre asked me a question. I answered the question.
Go for it. You didn't answer anything. You just stumped me. You're like a politician. You won't let anybody even speak. You're like a politician. You just cut everybody off and say what you want to say.
I asked you a question. Plants don't want to be eaten. To not be eaten, they let off toxins.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. The plants are eating the dogs and the cats.
The carcinogens that are in vegetables, Gary. They're good for your body in part because they help your body. Get ready? They help your body become stronger because they fight part of those things and make your body stronger. So you have your meat that you get all your fats and then your vegetables have many different nutrients that don't reside in meat. So to say that they actually kill
anything you need from plants that you need to live that you can get in plants, you can get in meat. Not everything you can get in meat that you need to survive can you get in plants. Meat is a necessity. You need meat to live. You don't need plants to live. You can, like I said, since I've quit Since I
Bro,
quit eating
I'm
plants.
not advocating to be a vegetarian, but a
You don't
balanced
need to eat
diet is
plants
the
at
way to
all.
live your life.
You don't
Period.
need
End
to
of
eat plants at
story.
all. You can
Balance.
eat plants, but you don't
Balance.
need to.
You're saying they're killing people. It's a balanced diet, bro. Stop. Balanced diet, bro.
What does that mean?
Meat,
Explain what you mean by a
vegetables.
balanced diet. Explain what you mean by that. Yeah, explain
You
what
have
you
your
mean
red
by a
meat,
balanced diet.
you have your greens, you have some fibers, you eat your meat, you eat your chickens, you eat your poultry, you eat your beef, and you have
gas station pizza. Gas station pizza.
Yeah, gas station pizza, bro. Come on.
Why would you eat
vegetables
explain
killing
to
people.
me? Explain to me what I'm getting in a tomato
You read
plant.
one article, bro.
What's
one article.
Oh, okay, hang on, Amber.
What's deadlier? What's deadlier, Big
I read
Mac
one article.
or a head
Did
of
I
lettuce?
only read one article? Did I only read one article?
You're quoting one
Yes
article.
or no?
Question.
Yes or no?
Question.
Did I only read one article?
Question.
I
What's
haven't been at your house
You
lately,
don't know,
bro.
right? So why you said that was just a ridiculous comment. Like, why would you say something that dumb? You read one article. Yeah, I read a lot more than one. I did read one. That's true. Like, what is your argument? I asked you what I can get out of a tomato plant that I need to survive.
You
That I
can get a
can't
Big
out of
Mac.
state. You don't
You
have
can
an
get a Big
answer.
Mac. You
Right?
got a chicken.
literally
A
said
chicken
last
Big
night,
Mac.
Smoking a cigarette was better than a salad.
Nope,
Literally.
didn't say that. Jake tried to get me to say that. See, now you're reduced to lying. Right, you're reduced to lying. Jake asked
I'm
me
a
that
liar
10
too,
times. We
yeah.
can pull the tape. So you're reduced to lying, and you can't answer the question. Do you think that's impressive?
What question?
Like, is that an impressive state?
What question? I don't understand a question through your rambling.
Okay, well, that sounds like a personal intelligence issue. If you can't understand,
Listen here, Veggie Burger.
I can't help you with that.
Bro, first of all, don't insult me.
I didn't insult you.
That's
I said
one.
it seems like if I can't understand
Well,
things, the reason
your
why
lip.
I can't understand.
Zip your lip. Don't
I'm not-
insult me.
I don't
I'm
listen
not
to
a
you.
jerk and
I
insulting you.
I don't listen to
So
you.
zip
And
it.
you don't tell me what to do.
Zip it. You want
I
to
don't
ask me a question? Ask me a question.
I did, and you said you didn't understand the question. I can't help you. It can't be broken down into any simpler forms.
It's
If you
rambling,
don't
bro.
understand
Just
it, I
ask the
can't
question.
help you.
Gary, ask a question.
What can I get out of a tomato plant that I need to survive that I can't get out of beef? Let's say. Let's go with beef.
Moral
First of all,
high
it's
ground.
vitamin C and it's mostly water. So what are you asking?
You're saying I need to eat plants, correct?
He is saying that there's
Do I need
there's
to
nothing
eat
wrong
grapes?
with having a
Tomatoes are fruit,
balanced diet. You
Tomatoes
don't
are
have to cut things out, Gary. You're big on cutting everything out.
Tomato-
You just
I
want
wanna-
to eat butter and you want to
Tomatoes
cut
are
out
fruit.
everything that's not
Plant
butter.
is not a plant. That's your
Tomatoes are
comment?
fruit.
Okay.
Tomato is a fruit.
I'm going to ask the question one more time, and either you can answer it or you can't. Is a tomato plant a plant?
It's a fruit.
Okay, so you're not going to answer the question.
Tomato fruit is a
You're
fruit.
not going
It
to answer
comes-
the question. If tomato
Where
plant
does
is
a
plant.
tomato grow
This
from?
This is what your position reduces you to. You can't answer a question. Is a tomato plant a plant? You can't answer
all
that question.
vegetables come from a plant. You
Okay.
Come on, bro.
When is
So
a plant
yes
not
or
a
no,
plant?
Is a tomato plant a plant?
Is a nuclear power plant a plant?
You can't answer the question. You can't. If that's a little bit more complex. Like you can't handle that question.
Yeah,
You just say,
my
I don't know.
75 IQ can't compute. It's
You can't
tomato.
answer
Is
whether
a
a tomato
marijuana
plant is
plant a plant?
It's a plant, bro. What? About okay.
So my position is you don't need to eat plants.
Get him, Philly.
I might duck out.
Out of a tomato.
We got butter here versus
can't
plant.
get out of state.
What should I bite first? What do I eat first? Tell me quick.
The butter. The butter is packed with nutrients.
Plant, bro.
I'm living in danger. This is like a freaking jungle out here, bro.
You're not eating the plant. The plant wants to kill you.
I'm near death, but this butter,
Philly,
this
those
will see.
plants are trying to kill you.
I'm gonna
Plants
test
are
the
trying
butter
to
theory right
kill
now.
you.
I've never done this. I'm gonna take a bite of butter. Let's just give it a shot.
It's gross, bro. Don't do it. Don't
We're
do
gonna
it. It's
do it.
gross.
We're gonna do it. The Jets are 3-7. I'm biting butter. Let's rub some plant on it first. Maybe. Yeah, here we go.
No.
Wow. I'm not gonna lie. That's not half bad. I'm not gonna lie.
That's also good for you.
So this whole stick and straight beef
and I'm set.
You're set. You're good. You're good, Philly. That's all you need.
Man, this plant is gonna kill me. Yeah. Actually, these type of plants I can't eat. If I did have some a head of lettuce, I would eat that right now in front of you. Actually, I might have some in the fridge.
Philly,
feel free to eat a head of
that
lettuce.
leaf. Eat that leaf right there on that plant. Eat the leaf right there.
Are you crazy?
I want to see you graze. I want to see you.
Top 25. I actually feel the butter recoursing into my veins right now. That was terrible. Oh my God.
I'm gonna go eat lunch. I'm gonna go eat some chicken and pasta.
Yes.
You guys have a nice day.
Hamburger. I'd
when
rather
did I
have a
say
hamburger.
You can't eat that. It's just an absurd thing, right?
That
you
was
couldn't answer
great.
if a tomato plant is a plant because it destroys his argument, right?
Well, it's got seeds.
Wait,
it's a
how
fruit.
does it
Didn't they
destroy the
it's a fruit
argument,
now.
though?
I didn't
You
say
don't
if
make
it was
any
a fruit
sense.
or not. If you can't understand, I can't help you. If you can't understand
Bro,
whether a tomato plant
you're
is a
trying to
plant,
say, can I sustain my entire existence with one fucking tomato? Can I do it with one stick of butter?
Hang on, Jay. Put in
This is
quotes
a
what I
jar
said
of
that
plant
you're
blood.
referring to. Put it
This
in
is
quotes.
plant blood right here.
Somebody pull it up in the chat, and it's like, see what he said. Is that better for you to eat a tomato than to eat whatever? Can I get all the nutrients in my from a tomato that I can get from something else? You cannot compare a tomato to like fucking deer. First of all, venison is disgusting.
Trey, what is your argument? Just like articulate and like elevate it.
My argument is to say that you are batshit crazy, and some of the shit that you come up with is ridiculous. That's my argument.
You appear to be in excellent physical condition. Everyone should.
I am definitely not in excellent physical condition.
Yeah, so
I'm not saying I'm a nutritionist. I'm not saying any of those things. But I will say that somebody who says to eat a stick of butter probably shouldn't be giving any nutritional advice to anybody.
Okay, I mean,
that's it. That's all I'm saying.
If I were you, what's wrong with butter, Dre?
There's nothing wrong with anything in moderation. You're talking about eating a whole stick of butter.
That's not. What's wrong with eating a stick of butter?
If that's the only thing, if you're gonna have that as a snack, no.
What's wrong with butter? I asked you a question.
Okay.
You asked me a question earlier, right?
So,
like, can animals eat leaves? They can eat a specific leaf. If they eat other leaves, yes, they get poison. So I'm asking you a question. Let's answer the question.
So let me flip it back on you so that maybe you can understand the concept.
You can answer the question. What is wrong with butter?
What's wrong with butter? I don't know. I'm not a butterologist. Let me look it up on Google.
But you don't know, right? But you made a claim that it was
well,
bad.
butter's not a food group, butter is not a food group.
That is a baseless
Is butter a carb?
You've made what's called a baseless
Is butter protein?
Yes.
What is butter? Exactly. What is butter?
But it's protein. It's protein and fat.
It's protein and fat. Okay. How many food groups is that?
How many food groups is protein and fat? I don't follow your.
You don't remember when you were a kid and growing up and we were going to school and we learned about the four food groups? You forgot that already?
Butter is a dairy product.
Okay.
Yeah, the food pyramid that said you're supposed to eat 7 to 11 servings of carbs a day that caused the country to be obese and diabetic. Yeah, that food pyramid. That's the one you're talking about.
So you're blaming portion control on the food pyramid?
Portion control. That's what it is. All of a
portion
sudden,
control.
All of a sudden, people.
Have you traveled outside the country?
Yeah. Many times.
Okay, and you did not notice the difference of the sizing of the plates when you go to restaurants outside of the United States?
Depends on where you go. It depends on where you go.
No, it doesn't, because the plates are always smaller everywhere else.
So your argument is that it's just all of a sudden, one day, somewhere in the 80s, right after they released the food pyramids, people just started eating way more, and that caused obesity to triple and diabetes to go up by tenfold? That's your position? Just randomly all of a sudden?
No, my position is that it's a cultural thing, and it has happened, and the U.S. just overfeeds you. That's what restaurants, the size of the restaurant plates, they put more food than everything else.
My family's from Sicily. They will literally eat all day. None of them are obese. It's the food supply. It's what you're eating. This is like shocking. They will literally start dinner at 2 o'clock and finish it at 9 o'clock. This is like shocking.
Okay.
It's the food supply. It's what's in your food. The food in America isn't really food. It lacks nutrients, right? So the reason why you eat more is because you're not getting nutrients because your food is artificial. That's why you're eating
okay,
more.
so
you
we've been eating
hungry because you
artificial
haven't gotten
food
nutrients.
since the 80s. That's your argument?
What was that? I missed the first
That
part.
we've been eating synthetic food since the 80s.
We've been eating synthetic food, and we've been eating less meat and more carbs, more grains, and more vegetables since the 80s.
Did you read what Boomtown wrote?
What was that?
The food pyramid was released in 1992.
Okay, so since 1992. That's fine. Since 92.
Okay, so either way.
So since 1992, right?
So
obesity rate has tripled.
Wait.
Diabetes
So
is a
let me.
byfactor
I'm
of
trying.
tenfold.
No, hold on. Slow down. Where we are now consuming your opinion and digesting your opinion. Okay. So you said that the reason why we're eating more and why we put more on our plates is because we're not getting enough nutrients, right?
Correct. That's why you feel hungry, because you haven't gotten
And so who's serving the plates?
Who is serving the I don't know who.
So who's making the decision? Because you're making the decision when you put the food on the plate. Are you not?
Yeah, right. The individual, whoever the individual.
Okay, so my mom was just knowing that she wasn't giving me enough and gave me more food and more food and more food.
I don't understand your question.
What I'm trying to get you to understand is that us as Americans, we eat more per plate, per serving. Our serving sizes are ridiculous. When you go anywhere else, they bring you a small serving size. So do you know that, why your people from Italy, why they eat more or they eat all day? That's everywhere. Everywhere you go. In Colombia, in Mexico, in Buenos Aires, when I was in Argentina, when I was in Peru, I was in Lima, Peru. I was in all these places, and they serve you food all day.
Yeah, he's
but
right.
They serve it on portion controlled. The plates are smaller. The portion sizes are smaller. So you're eating more often. Smaller amounts more often. You're grazing. You're not really sitting down and plowing through a whole freaking pound of food.
Awesome.
That is the way to do it.
Someone in the comment section just put that the food in America will get you sent to prison in other countries. He's not wrong. If you take a loaf of bread off the shelf in the United States, there are 6 ingredients in that. That is illegal in France. Why? Because it's not food. Right? Because if you go to France and you eat a loaf of bread, you're eating a loaf of bread. If you get a loaf of bread from the United States, you're eating chemicals and preservatives that aren't food. He's right. The reason why America is obese is because they're eating garbage. They're not the American diet. There is nothing worse in this planet than the American diet. I don't care what you eat. There's no way it's worse than this traditional American diet. It's not food. There's nothing in it. Like I said, a loaf of bread. Take a loaf of bread. Go to whatever Costco. Get a loaf of bread. There are 6 ingredients in that are illegal. You can't even sell it. It's contraband in France.
Okay.
The French aren't obese. It's not that you're eating too much. It's A, you're eating too much because you're not eating food, and B, it's not food. It's chemicals, and you're not getting the nutrients, which is why you're hungry.
Okay. But that has nothing to do with the original argument.
Well, no, because meat is nutrient dense. Like if you eat meat, you're going to eat less, right? Like I eat once a day. I'm not hungry. I eat one meal a day at about 5 o'clock.
And you're training your body to when I eat, hold on to this. So you're storing all the calories that you consume as fat.
Yeah,
and your metabolism is shit.
That's about right. What you're saying there, yes.
I know.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So no. We need better metabolism. We need higher metabolisms. We need to not store fat because that's what most Americans do. But what we need to do,
you store fat to survive because your ancestors 1,000 years ago didn't eat 3 meals a day, right? So they didn't know where their next meal was coming from.
My ancestors 1,000 years ago also didn't have Google and YouTube and airplanes.
Right.
So
I'm with you on that.
So we can evolve and do better, is what I'm saying.
Okay. I mean,
I'm not saying that U.S. food is good. I'm in agreement with you there. I think that we need to take a hard look at what we put in our bodies. We need to probably start farming more. They're not normal farms, and the country's gonna go to shit anyway. So I'm gonna dip out and go to Costa Rica. And if you want to come with me, Gary, you're more than welcome.
I've been to Costa Rica. You'll eat clean food, and it's
I
nutritious,
know,
and it tastes
bro.
like
I
food.
know.
It doesn't
That's
taste
what
like
I'm
a
saying.
chemical
Listen,
compound like American food.
Listen. Grab your wife, grab your nanny, grab Decker. We're packing up the kids. We're going to Costa Rica, and we're going to start a football team over there.
I'm with you, Dre. You take.
All right, let's go.
I'll bring my family. We'll go over to Costa Rica, and we'll eat clean foods.
Yep, we'll eat clean. We'll bring the burger.
I'm with you.
As your new health administrative secretary, I will be cleaning up all of the food for you guys. So, Gary, don't you worry about it. There will be no more Doritos, and there will be no more lettuce for everybody to eat. So be safe, everyone, and don't.
Plants are trying to kill me, so I think I'll eat a stick of butter. Yeah, ladies, you can do music.
The best part about that is the views never went down during all that. They never went down. Amazing. Thank you all for watching. Incredible. Gary, you're one of one. I tried to put up the super chats in real time as they were happening. I want to shout out Jay Graves. She gifted a membership earlier. I don't know who got it, but if you got it from Jay Graves, please thank her. 25 wrote Gary is on the Liver King diet. Bo wrote, we're clapping, and we're the clapping seals. Elton says, this is how you know the Jet season's over. Feels like the offseason after the draft, but before camp. Love the show. Going to eat a salad now. Yeah, I mean, I didn't think we'd have to turn to these type of topics in the season, but that's where we're at. Unfortunately, the show goes on. 25 writes in, Gary hasn't had his French butter stick in a while. He's losing it. New Jersey Super Trucker, ask Ed where I can get a Jets hard hat like his. I guess New Jersey's watching on delay. Ed was on an hour ago. Bo says, send Gary to the blue tent for protocol assessment. And I want to shout out to Ivo, who says, this show's amazing. Correct, Jake. This is the total show of the future. Hey, look, anyone can give Jets opinions. What makes the show is what you just saw right there. The Asmaniacs make this show what it is. Kick out the jabs, wrote, Jets more harmful than the Caesar salad. I agree. The Jets are actually trying to kill me, Gary. All right. I had a Caesar salad last night and the night before, and I'm still here, man. Tom A says Jake smoked the Caesar salad next time, twice as healthy. This team, man. Gator says during the bye week, we're going to discuss the flat earth theory. Tom says that argument's going a long way in the November power rankings. I really do think Hamburger coming on with the air horn was incredible. And then the RFK impression at the end there was top notch. That was great. Nate, what if the Jets have been eating vegetables all year and Gary's right? Can we get Nate a membership, please? I'm gifting a membership before we go right now. See if we could get Nate or someone else another membership. Hold on. I wish it was easy to do without having to actually sign on to the YouTube video, but give me a second. Rich says Hamburger was very good. I think Hamburger had a stellar performance today. He definitely represented himself well after coming in number one on the power rankings in October. I'm going to gift the membership right now. Let's go. Hit the like button if you're still tuning in. Let's get over 200 likes. We're at 190, I see right now. Ralphie writes in, my wife walks in here and Gary's screaming, hamburger, and asks what freaky porno I'm watching while working from home. Unreal, man. Keglowski, he doesn't have a membership either. What are we doing here? This show is outrageous. Bradley Levitt got membership. Shout out to Brad. I know Brad very well. Dre just gifted a membership. It's all happening, baby. Memberships flying off the shelves. Let's go.
Free stuff.
Karen Lowe, the recipient of the membership from Dre. What should our next channel emoji be? Brian Glick, a.k.a. Coach Brick, says, can we get a tinfoil hat emoji? Should we get Gary with a tinfoil hat on? Tom Ace writes in, so how does Gary rationalize eating pizza with tomato sauce? Does he just leave it to chance? Gary, what are your thoughts on tomato sauce on pizza? Is it trying to kill you?
Yeah, it is. I mean, look, should I eat pizza? Should I eat tomato sauce? No. And when I'm in New York 3 times a year, am I going to eat it? Yeah, I am. Right? Should I? Right? It's like, should I smoke a cigar once a month? No. Right? But like, whatever. Like, no, you should not. Like, should I eat pizza? No, I should not. But I'm going to do it anyway.
The butter stick emoji. Gator, can you come up with Gary holding a butter stick? I think that could be a good emoji. Mikey's Nuts says a head of lettuce emoji. I mean, there's a lot of options for our next emoji based off what you provided this channel, Gary.
Eater of all the butter sticks. That's good. Was that up there? Did you put it out there the whole time?
No, that was your title.
I shy away from that. Not at all, Jake. You can leave that there.
You are the butter stick eater. All right, who's winning tonight, Tyson or Paul? Give us a prediction real quick before I end the show.
A draw. It's a draw.
Are you excited you're sports relevant?
It's no. It's good because there's good fights on the card. But my fear is that no one's going to watch any of those and only watch this gimmick thing, clown show at the end. So, like, I don't know how to answer that question in less than 5,000 words. Yes, I'm excited that there are good fights tonight. No, I'm not excited about the freak show at the end.
What a show. What a show. I think Paul probably wins because Tyson is really old, but I'm rooting for Tyson for what it's worth. Let's see. Did I miss any super chats? Oh, we got a little membership gift here. That's No Ghost paying it forward with 1 channel membership. This is for you, Gary, the sounder. Hanny and Rob Hall receiving a channel membership. I'm taking emoji suggestions here. Need people. Let's see. Hold on. I'm seeing Gary off air do the Bobby Midnight waving the arms, wanting to come back in. Yes, Gary?
Oh, it does work. The Bobby methodology does work. All right. That's good to know. Somebody in the chat asked me how I felt about Abdullah Mason. Abdullah Mason, the 20-year-old from Cleveland, is the best prospect, not just in boxing right now, which he is the best. He's the best prospect I've seen since Bam Rodriguez. So I'd say he's the best prospect I've seen come up in the sport.
Is he fighting tonight? Why was he asked about?
No, he fought last week when I was at the card in Virginia Beach. When I met up with Johnny Boy. He fought on that card. So that's why I guess he got knocked down in the first round, but then came out to a second round knockout. Abdullah Mason is the best prospect in boxing. And in my opinion, he's one of the best prospects to come along in the better part of a decade.
So you still like him even despite the obvious flaw?
He's 20. He got a little over aggressive and he got caught with a clean shot. It's a good lesson to learn now.
He eats salad though. He had it for lunch.
Abdullah Mason does?
Yeah.
You have no idea who Abdullah Mason is, do you?
No, I don't.
Plants are trying to kill me, so I think I'll eat a stick of butter.
All right. What a show. We're back in a few hours. Unreal. Thank you to Fireman Ed who came on for the first hour of the show. It was a jet show at some point today, I promise you, for those two to get late. Anyway, we'll be back in the afternoon. See, I'm wearing the Ithaca College Bomber hat because that's a winning football team right now. Go Ithaca against Cortland tomorrow in the Quarter Good Jug. All right, that does it. We're back in a few hours. Please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. If you really want to support me in a desperate time of need, get on the Patreon, baby. Patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. And if any Jet fan has tickets they're not using for Sunday and you want to transfer them to me, I will make sure they get in the hands of people that could use them. I've had several people reach out that want to take their kid to their first ever game. So we're going to try and distribute as many tickets as possible. I think I've passed out 4 so far. So it does sound like people are actually using their tickets this week because I gave out 47 for the Texans game. You know, that game being on Thursday night, I'm sure I had a lot to do with it on Halloween. But either way, if you have extra tickets you're not using, you want to pay it forward to a fellow Jet fan, you let me know. Thank you all for the support. My name is Jake Asman. This has been the Jake Asman Show. Why don't we end with a banger, right? Blitz BK earlier this week dropped an awesome track called Everything Must Change. Let's end the show on a high with some magic from the great Blitz BK.
Everything must change someday, I know, oh yeah. I know you won't believe, but darling, I love you so. And everything must change someday, I know, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Everything must change someday, I know, oh yeah.
Gotta change, gotta change.
Everything must change someday, I know, oh yeah.
I know you won't believe me.
Darling, I love you so.
Yeah, back again, but it's been the same since 93. I feel the rain, feel the pain like I'm Joey B. I saw Coslet, Carroll, go tight, Billy P. Belichick outgrow, and I'm still a fan, no silly me. Many of us so it's silly we haven't seen a chip since our dad was in Little League. Now we literally dads with kids in Little League. Next playoff victory, tell me who the hell knows, it's a mystery. I lived through the fake spike, so I hate life. I saw quarterback legends and they failed twice. Legend have it, name is sold his soul, time to pay the price. Homie gotta know, time to take that flight. Gotta make this right. This is us against the gods, we can't win this fight. Gotta take what's ours that just grip too tight. Against all odds, gotta rebuild this right, yeah.
Everything must change someday, I know, oh yeah. Everything must change someday, I know, oh yeah. Everything must change someday, I know, oh yeah. I know you won't believe, but darling, I love you so. And I
Stop. What's up, Jake?
You're embarrassing yourself.
Oh, shit.
Stop.
Let me ask you something, ass man. What do you think of Zach Wilson?
He stinks.
Thank God he's gone. He never scores no fucking touchdown.
He stinks.
The second pick for number 2 destroyed the Jets' cause.
He stinks.
As maniacs kick so much ass, but some of them, they kill the vibe and make the show a freaking mess. So Jake reminds them.
He stinks.
When Allen calls, he speaks the hate. That cartoon douche, he trashed the Jets. Let Bobby know, cause he's the man who will find him.
He stinks.
Another call comes from the car. Distorted voice and no Wi-Fi. That's JJ with crap ass phone. Just cut him off the call.
He stinks.
Is that gas station pizza? Come on, Gary.
He stinks.
Chicken don't go with pasta. Just get out of here, Jake.
The guy is terrible. Enough.